not only are they searchable, but so that search engines understand what you're trying to say. And that when people go to search for those things, that search engines like Google and Bing, they understand your search intent.
Hey, what is the good word? So SEO, what do you know about that? I know very little about SEO, but thankfully in this conversation, we have the world-renowned Jennifer DeRosa, and she is the founder of Toto SEO, an SEO agency for small businesses. And she is going to help us with SEO today and a few other things. So Jennifer DeRosa, welcome to the Sales Made Easy podcast. What's the good word?
Thank you so much for having me, Harry. Everything's a great word. If you can't find happiness in this world, that's sad. We have so much going on. We are so blessed, and we are blessed to be here. We really are.
I love you already, Jennifer. So it's going to be an awesome conversation. So I'm going to tell you straight out that I'm confused with SEO. I look at it, I watch people like Neil Patel, I read stuff, I buy stuff, and I let it sit there because I don't know what to do with it. So tell us, what is SEO and why do small businesses need to know about SEO?
Oh, that's such a great question. And you know what? It might seem like a boring topic. You might be like, oh, this is going to be too much information. I'm not listening. It doesn't need to be boring. And you can learn the right amount that you need to learn for your business and your situation. And you should. And one of the reasons you should learn a little bit about SEO, if you have a business or thinking of starting a business, or you work in a small business and you're in charge of some of your online presence, is that it's easy to have mistakes made, and it's easy to hire shysters in this industry. And it's also really easy to implement some basic things. Like, you can do this yourself, some of the things. So there's always this big mystery put on anything that's digital in our digital world. Like AI now is the new big mystery, which actually that kind of is a mystery because they call it a black box. Sam Altman, the CEO of OpenAI, doesn't even really know how it works. So there is some mystery, which is true. But if someone makes you feel like they have all these little tricks and everything, and that you are not worthy up to their standards, it's not really a good person you want to be dealing with, because you can do some of things for SEO. You can do the basics, and you want to be careful about hiring somebody. So we should explain what SEO stands for, just in case.
Please. Yes.
Most people know, but if you don't know, that's okay. It's called search engine optimization. And basically what it's saying is you are going to be optimizing your pages, your web pages, or your posts, or your events, or your products that are online, so that not only are they searchable, but so that search engines understand what you're trying to say. And that when people go to search for those things, that search engines like Google and Bing, they understand your search intent, what you are intending to do when you are a searcher. When I go online and I want to look for somebody to put maybe I want to buy a fire pit for my backyard. So I want someone to install it, though. I want to buy an installed fire pit that I can sit around with my family and everything. If I go online and I type in outdoor fire pit, do you know what comes back? And you can try this. It comes back with all these places where you can buy an outdoor fire pit: Lowe's, Home Depot, all those places, right? But that's not my intent. My intent is to hire someone. So what do? I refine my search. I might type mason to build an outdoor fire pit, contractor to install a fire pit in my backyard. There's a lot of different ways I could write that as a person. That's my search intent. So how do search engines know that your website is the right one to return? How do you get up in position 1, 2, or 3? You want to be returned, but if you don't think about the visitor search intent originally, you're going to waste a lot of time and money and effort on anything that you do, because you need to start there. Another example, if you're going to go on vacation, do you pack your entire wardrobe? Like, have you done that, Harry?
No, not at all. Just a carry-on.
Right. And if you're going to on a ski vacation, what would you put in your bag?
I would probably put in skis if they could fit, but other than that, maybe a heavy jacket and like ski pants, stuff like that.
Right. So if Google was looking in your bag and opened it up, will Google have an idea where you're going? Would they
Oh
think
yeah.
they think you're going to Disney World?
No.
Right. They would know you're going somewhere cold. Now you might be hiking in the mountains or whatever, and they might not know whether you're doing a hella drop or you're doing the bunny hill. It doesn't matter. They know you're going. That's the same thing with your website and search engines. You want search engines to understand what your website is doing and what you provide and your offer. What is your offer? And if your offer is clear to search engines, then they're going to say, oh, this person is going skiing, I'm going to return this website. Oh no, this offer is the Disney World. I'm not returning that one. So you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You don't throw everything on there. You don't put your whole wardrobe on your website, and you write the content and you put certain things in certain places so that search engines know what your offer is. And if they know what your offer, and the more crystal clear you can get on your offer, the more they know about it, the more likely it will be returned when people are searching for your website. That's what SEO is about.
Very nice. All right. So as I'm thinking about the value of this, because I will sometimes write, sometimes post, and I have this little SEO tool. I think I might have had it at one time, forgot what it was called. And it gave me like this horrible score. And then as I researched it, it says, oh, you need these keywords. And the keywords would be like sales, dummy, because you're about sales coaching. And then there's so many about sales. I don't know if there's like 1 billion, but there's a huge number in sales. And then I'm reading or being told, well, you don't take the big numbers because you're not big enough to compete. So help me. Help.
That's okay. And that's an overlooked step. Exactly what you're talking about.
Okay.
So what you're talking about is when you said the big words, I think what you meant was highly competitive words.
Yeah. Okay. Yes, that sounds better because I can say big words.
Yeah, no, and that's fine. If I go to a cocktail party, people will ask me, oh, like, can you tell me how I'm doing, in search for my website? I'm like, for what? For what are you doing? Are you trying to sell shoes? Are you trying to sell computers? Are you selling lipstick? What is your offer? So unless you get crystal clear on that first step, and it's what you're talking about, it has to do with, first of all, choosing your keywords. This is kind of changing as we have AI, which is really, taking over a lot of what we do online in language, right? But so we're moving towards trying to understand what people want before they actually type into words. So some of this is changing, and maybe in 5 years, if we listen to this, we'll be like, oh, remember when we worried about keywords? But right now, we're still worried about keywords, okay? So keywords and keyword phrases, you start with that. It's kind of like ski clothing. We started with that with the example of the suitcase. So you need to, first of all, pick your keywords. How do you pick your keywords? Most people have no idea. Okay, there are tools that can help you pick your keywords. You can sign up. I like using a very simple one, Google Ads Keyword Planner. It's free. You have to put your credit card in when you sign up, but that's only if you decide to run an ad. They're not going to charge you anything. And you can go in there because that's the source, right? And so you can go in there and you can put some keywords that you think people should be searching for you online, and it will come back and give you a lot of information. For example, tell you what other keywords are related to that search. It will tell you your competition level. It will tell you how many times that keyword's being searched that month. It gives you tons and tons of information. So if you go in, or you can use another tool, I want to tell you there's a couple tools. I'll just let your visitors listen. There's SEMrush, SEMrush or SEMrush. People call it two different things. So that you're allowed to use for free, a limited edition, I believe, for one website. Moz, M-O-Z is a big one. Ahrefs, so it's AHREFS.com. Those are a couple. There's plenty of other ones. And if someone in the SEO world is listening and I left you out, I'm sorry. But anyways, there's plenty of tools to do keyword research. Okay. So you have a tool, but like, how do you use it, or how do you start thinking about that? Or when you get results back? All right. Even actually, let me step back. Even before you do a keyword search, you want to go into Google or into a search engine and type up what, like I just used the example of outdoor fire pit. Type that in. Is that and what comes back? That's called the SERP, the search engine's result page, SERP. In the SERP, is that what you want to be listed in? Is that your competition, or is it completely messed up? If it's completely messed up, that's what other people are going to be typing in to get to you. And so they're going to have that same thing. So refine your search. Get your search down first by you searching for what you offer. Then when you have those words, plug them into a keyword tool. Okay. Then you're going to see all that information I just told you, competition, other suggested words. How do you pick them? So if you're a newer website, or what's called your domain authority is low, we can talk about that in a minute. I don't want to switch gears too much, but let's just assume your domain authority is low. Most people with small businesses, it's low. When you're not, if you go for highly competitive keywords, you're never going to make it up there. You're not going to make it to the top. You're going to stay on page, suppose 67, 110, and you're not going to move up. So in that case, you got to be like creative, like, okay, let me think about my customer. And if you go to Toto SEO, you see right at the beginning, it all starts with a customer. SEO starts with a customer. What is your customer looking for? What is their problem? What are they trying to solve? They may not be looking for what you offer just yet. They may be looking to solve a problem that they have. Everyone's looking to solve. When you go online, you're looking to solve a problem. If you want to know what time sunset is, that's your problem. You're typing it in. Whenever you do a search, that's your problem. So what is it that people might be typing in? And it may not be exactly what you offer. It may be something around what you offer, because if you have talked to anyone about the buyer's journey, it begins with awareness, and people might be in the awareness stage. You need to create awareness about your product. And if people don't know who you are or know you have a solution, they're going to be looking for other things. Those are the keywords you want to go for originally. And so if you can find those lower competitive words that are being searched, and you can create content and optimize your pages around those words, then you have a shot. Because if the search engines start returning your website for those lower competitive words, you start getting returned, you're returned. Now they're watching. Oh, people do click on their listing in the SERP. Oh, when they get on their page, they're staying more than 3 minutes. You've got good content on there. They're staying for 3 minutes. Yeah. And if we think like search engines and we think like Google and Bing and all them, what's their model? Their model is to provide the best websites returned in the SERP. Because if they return crappy websites and people go to them all the time, they're like, I can't stand this search engine. I'm never getting an answer to my question, and it's terrible results. I'm not using them anymore. And people will go somewhere else. So it's in the search engine's best interest to return the best websites. It's if you're a small business or you work for a small business, you're starting out, your best interest to be the best website. Okay. And what that means is you need to give the search engine signals by keeping people on your website and getting people there. And if you can't get them there with the highly competitive words, start with the low competitive words, get them over, keep them on your website, and slowly you'll start to move up.
Very nice. The idea of so on the sales side of things, what I'm thinking is we sell outcomes. People frequently are selling their product.
Yes.
But what buyers are not necessarily, if they don't know how to get the outcome that they desire. For instance, I'm just thinking of what someone might be looking for is how to lose weight. I'll go very vague.
Okay.
They don't know how they're going to lose the weight. They don't know what program. They're not necessarily going to search for your program because they don't know that that program exists, right? Am I following? Am I tracking here?
Yes, totally.
Okay. Yes. So you've got to write, basically losing weight is probably a keyword that is massively used somehow, right? Yes.
So what's different about your offer? What's your differentiators? How can
Nice.
Yeah, and then talk about those solutions that you're offering. How is your solution something different that's not the same as everyone else? And it does play into sales. That's actually where your SEO and your sales should intersect on many, many, many levels. But you know that sales is not, you don't go into a sales meeting and say, I've got the best solution and here it is, and it's the only one. No,
Well, some do. Too many do, but yes, you should not do that.
so you listen to what people are saying. You listen and you hear key little phrases, like key little details that they tell you, and you're like, they're not really hiring me for this. They're hiring me for that. And
Nice.
they talk to that.
Yeah, this is starting to make sense. I'm starting to get this SEO stuff.
Yeah.
The other thing you said, which I enjoyed hearing, Jennifer, is that you said that they're sticking around for a few minutes reading. And tell me the value of that.
You know what I said? Reading. You could be watching a video.
Yeah. You didn't say reading, my bad, but you said they're there for 3 minutes or something. So talk to me about that.
Oh, you got to get people to stay on your website. If people come to your web. Okay, look, this is how it goes. First of all, you start out in position 100. So you're never going to get found. You start out in position 100. If you're in position 100 for all your words, and you go into Google Search Console to find that out, by the way, you set it up. It's free. I have instruction. I do a boot camp on that once in a while. You start out with Google Search Console. Okay. You find out what you're being searched for. You say, okay, they already know I'm about this. Your first job is to move up. So work on moving up. Okay. There's strategies to move up. You need to make a lot of content around it, and you need to optimize your pages, do the SEO on your pages. You need to pack the key equipment so that they understand what you're doing, where you're going. So you got to optimize your pages. Then when you're up in position, 1 through 10 or whatever, you're being returned. That's awesome. Like, yay for us. Well, then you got to get people to click. That has to do with how your result looks in the SERP, which is a search engine result page. Remember, what is your title and your meta description? If you're a small business and you've done your website, you don't know what a title and meta description is, you need to get familiar, because if you don't supply one, search engines will grab it. And sometimes it's really ugly. So you want to write in a title and a meta description for every page so that it looks great on the listing. And there's strategies around that as well. Right? You want to talk to the person of what they might be searching for. Remember their search intent. Remember their search intent. Remember their search intent. Don't talk about your product. Remember their search intent when you're writing your title and your meta descriptions. Okay? Because when someone sees your listing in the SERP, they click on it. Oh, that's number 2. So now we've moved up. Now we've got someone to click on our listing. Yay. Perfect. This is going great. If they bounce off right away and they don't engage with your website, so they don't stay there watching a video or go to another page or read something or whatever, they just go there and come right off. Search engines are going to measure that a couple of times. And it's kind of like, like when you're going to find a restaurant, you're walking around a strange town. If no one's in the restaurant, do you go in there and eat? Usually. No. You go eat where the other people are, because you don't know, but they must know. They must know something. I don't know what it is. They know. I'm going with them. So it's the same thing. So you got to get people to stay on your website.
Oh, it makes perfect sense. All right. We're now making progress. We understand SEO, search engine optimization. Then SERP is that search engine results page?
Yes. Yeah.
All right. Yes, I'm learning. And so now as I'm visualizing this, you get all the results popping up. If one of them looks ugly, like you mentioned, we don't click on ugly. But sometimes I hover over something and this weird gobbledygook comes up. I don't click on that one. It's just like, I'm going to go find something that's easy to read. So that's a whole nother layer.
Yeah. And it
right.
resonates with you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
And then, so we're searching we have to figure out, this is the key, is how do we know what our clients or prospects are searching for?
Wow, that's a good question.
So you go, baby.
Well, there's a couple ways. When I do with my clients at Toto SEO and what I teach in Toto coaching, I have a course that I teach people how to build their own website. So what I teach is and we walk you through is you create a buyer persona. It is like an avatar. Some people call it avatar. I don't know if you've ever created one or not. If you haven't, it is so amazing to do this exercise. When I did it for myself years and years ago, my gosh, my whole outlook on my customers changed. It is so helpful when you're doing sales because you can recognize right away the customers you want, and you should do it on the customers you don't want anymore that are wasting your time and effort and money, because we don't need that. Our time is limited. When you're a small business, you're wearing a lot of hats. You don't have time to waste on these people who you don't want. And then maybe it brings in money or whatever, but maybe it ruins, it's like toxic to your environment. So you need to identify those people as well. So you identify your people with what's called a buyer's persona. It's basically a fictional representation of your ideal customer. And you go through with an exercise. There's different templates online. I created one for the Toto coaching course that I walk people through, and you go through and you kind of like find out like, okay, how old they are, their living situation, married, not children, graduated, whatever, how like tech savvy are they, blah, blah, blah. What's their day? Tell me about their day. I love knowing about their day. I want to know about their day. How much time do they have on their hand? Where are they going? What are they doing? And then you talk about their goals and their roles in their life and their stressors and all this other stuff. And then you might find out that people are really hiring you, not for what you think that they're hiring for, they're hiring you for something else. For example, when I had Tech Care, so I had a web development agency for over 20 years. And when I sold that company, when I had a company, when I did my buyer personas, I had someone that I worked with a lot, and I did a lot of her marketing. She was a marketing manager at a company. And so she would hire me to work on different websites and do some print material and all of that. When I did my buyer personas on her, I loved working with her. I loved it, loved it, loved it. I realized she's hiring me to make her look like a rock star to her boss. Wow. That's what she's doing.
Yeah.
So I will gladly make her look like a rock star to her boss. And how I'm going to do that, I'm going to work with her. I'm going to be honest with her and tell her when something's not right. I'm going to give her stuff that she can turn in so she gets promotions. And so it's more important, not that I'm like, ooh, the best and the cutting edge. My thing is more important, understanding her culture of her company and what her boss is looking for.
Yeah. It's funny because you and I were chatting earlier, and I asked if you viewed yourself as a salesperson when you were doing the websites back in whatever. We won't say how long ago, but it's been a while. And you viewed yourself really as the task that you were performing, not as the entrepreneurial, I'm always selling, I'm in sales, that person. But the things you're saying, this is exactly what selling should be. Is you're not selling the product, you sold what that person was looking for, which is they want to look good in front of their boss. It's magical when you can be that aware of what people really want. That's how you sell successfully. No, it's no wonder that you've been a success. No wonder you've been a success over the years. It's no surprise, is what I'm trying to say.
Thank you.
Yeah,
it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. And those are called buyer personas. You can do them on your own, and it's usually good to do it with someone else. They can be kind of difficult to do, but it gives you a lot of information.
Is that stuff you have on your website?
It's in my course. So if you take
Okay,
walk you through it, we walk you through doing it, and totally
nice.
awesome. Yeah. And you know what I wanted to mention really quickly?
Sure, of course.
I mentioned
Mention.
before, and this has to do with SEO, and it has to do with, like, say you've done all the things, which I haven't gone into like all the details of how you optimize your web pages. There's certain things you do after you pick your keywords. Basically, you put your keywords in strategic places. There's strategic places you put your keywords. Okay. That's what doing the SEO is, that you need to do on, that you can do. There's another component to this, and that's called your domain authority. That's what Moz calls it. It's called authority score, I think, by SEMrush. And there's different words that Google used to have something called, well, there was a company called Alexa PageRank. And then that was bought by, I think it was bought by Google. So Alexa. So anyways, that they had a PageRank, Alexa PageRank. I think that's what it was. Anyways, there's always been some kind of PageRank. Well, what is that? That is, I'll give you an example what it is first. Put yourself in high school and you're in it's cafeteria, and you know where all the popular kids are. They sit over at that table over there, and there's a new kid who comes in, or you haven't seen this kid before, but that kid's sitting at the popular table. What do you assume? Do you assume, how popular do you think they are on a score of 1 to 10 if they're sitting with the 10s?
Yeah, they're 10.
Okay. If you see someone over, with the nerds, the unpopular kids, and they're sitting that, what do you think they are in terms of popularity? And those are all 2s over there.
Yeah.
What do you think that person is going to be?
Yeah, same.
2. So it's the same thing with your website. Websites have a score. You have a score if you have a website. You can go on, there's lots of tools. What's my domain authority? You can get your score. This has to do with linking. You might have heard of backlinks.
Yes.
Okay, backlinks. People hear about backlinks, they understand, like, oh, I'm going to buy some backlinks. No. Okay. So what a backlink is, it's just a link back to your website. It's not a fancy, scary word. It's a link back to your website. That's all it is. Someone else has linked back to your website. Okay, no big deal. Okay, no big deal. If your mom makes a website, she can link on her website to your website. Now you got a backlink from your mom. Okay, so it's not a big deal. This is the thing. Class authority. What does that mean? If you get a link from a really popular website, really authoritative, that all the search engines like, ooh, this is Forbes, a news organization, the government, maybe you can consider that authoritative or not, whatever you think, right? But so these types of big organizations that have high authority, you get a link from them, and it's called a follow link. If it's a follow link, oh my gosh, people are going to think, Google and everyone's going to think you're in the popular group.
Well,
if you buy backlinks, some people buy backlinks, they sell them. And they tell you, we can't tell you where we're putting them. That's our secret information. Okay, no, it's not secret information. You can find out really easily where you're getting them from. And a lot of people who hire these companies end up in a lot of trouble because you know what they do? They build these pages that are gobbledygook. You can never understand the words, they're not even English. And they put links to your website and all these thousands of other websites. I have a whole list of them right now. I have a list of websites that I want to contact the owners, but I'm scared to contact them because I don't want them to think I'm a creep. And I know who they paid. I know the company they paid, and I know how much they paid them. And they paid them for these links, and it ruined their domain authority because all the search engines think they're hanging out with the unpopular kids. So you know what domain authority is? 0, 1, 2, 10 is terrible. And if you have a website that's been around 15 years and your domain authority is still down that low, something's not right. So you want to hang out with the populace. And how do you do that? You work hard to get yourself on podcasts like this.
Awesome. You're such a plugger. That's so great. Fantastic. But yes, this is another one of those things where I've looked at and I said backlinks. I'm thinking if I want to, I'm a believer that it's reciprocity. You got to put things out in the universe and then things will come back to you. So how do I create a backlink to someone else's site to mine? Is there any value in that?
Well, you can't create it unless you can hack into their website, and then I would not recommend that.
No. Okay, good. I thought you, so yeah, explain how, all right, yeah, talk to me. Do you know what I'm trying to say here? Do you know what I'm doing? That's illegal.
Links. We got to get the links. You got to get, so you look up your domain authority is low. My domain authority on my website, my total coaching, I just went live. Like, I'm still low. I'm working on it.
All right.
They don't know how you are. So it's just like when you're young, you're not going to get a mortgage. You're not giving a mortgage to a 10-year-old. They don't know if you can pay the loan, right? Okay. So they want they want your credit score. They want to know if you can pay it off. They want to know. So, all right. So anyway, so when you start off, your domain authority is going to be 0. That's what it's going to be. Your goal is to grow it. How do I grow this? Number one, stick around for a long time. Okay, well, we can't speed up time. Okay, so forget about that. I mean, just keep your website up.
Yep.
Second thing is, go for those keywords that are lower competition. Start writing a lot of content. Write 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 stuff. Write articles. Write things. Optimize your pages. Choose those words. Optimize your pages. Optimize your products. Optimize all your service pages. Don't have a one-page website. If you have a one-page web, people always want to. That's one raffle ticket. These are raffle tickets. Every page is a raffle ticket to get more people to your website. You buy one, you get one chance. Buy 250, you get 250 chances. So get more raffle tickets, build more, write more articles. People don't want to write. I might do a boot camp teaching you how to write your articles quickly. So there are ways to do it. Don't just use ChatGPT and use their generic stuff, because that is not helpful. We could talk all day about this stuff, but just don't use generic stuff. Okay. You're not going to move up. So anyways, write more content. Okay. So you get more content and everything. Now we're going to get the backlinks. How do we get the backlinks? There's a couple ways, strategies people use. One is you can look up your brand and see if there's unlinked brand mentions. That means, is your brand mentioned anywhere on the internet already and there's no link? Contact the owner of that website. If they're reputable, you can look up their domain authority first and say, hey, can you give me a link? You already have my stuff. And most of the time it'll be, sure. Okay, let me do it. Okay, that's number one, unlinked brand mentions. The other thing is guest blog. Write to people who are in your industry. Say, can I blog on your website and you give me a link? Write to the local newspaper, the Patch, things like that. They want to know what you're doing. Okay. There's another website called Haro, Help a Reporter Out. Okay. It's like something Haro. It's not just HARO, because that's for another website, but it's Help a Reporter Out. Get on there, see if someone can write some articles or you can participate in that. Okay, that's another way. You can also just join organizations, join the chamber, join any association where they're going to give you a link back to your website. Those are good as well. Social media, set up all your social media channels, make sure they link back to your website. So these are some ways to do it, but it doesn't happen overnight. And buying links most likely is going to get you in trouble. Not all the time, but most likely is going to get you in trouble. And then you have to unravel that. You have to disavow links and mess.
Yes, we don't want that. It sounds horrible. You have so much value in this conversation. I hate to end it. So where can people find more of you? Because you're awesome.
Thank you. Well, this has been so much fun. So much fun. You can either look at Toto SEO, Toto like the dog, from Wizard of Oz, totoseo.com, or Toto Coaching. And that's where I have my course that I teach people. And Josh too, he works with me and he's so awesome. And we do live coaching once a week. So you can come and ask your questions. You can come to the hour, once a week, and it's a group coaching. And you can say, hey, I'm having trouble with this, or can you tell me where I should put my keywords or whatever that we didn't cover in the class? Or we can sometimes we look at someone's website and be like, okay, this is good, but make these changes. So it's really awesome. We have fun. People like it. If you like the way I talk, you'll like that. They're not boring. It can be fun. It can be an experience, and it can grow your business. And that's the whole thing. It's like, there's so many things we need to do in the business. What can we do that we can put our effort into that's going to have maximum impact, right? So building out your website's really good, making sure that it's optimized for SEO, get people on it, and then get people warmed up, and then get people converting.
This has been a blast. You have made SEO a fun topic today, Jennifer DeRosa, and for that, I'm grateful. So we'll see more of you.
Thank you.
Toto SEO. That's the site.
SEO. Yep. And Toto.
Awesome.
Thank you so much. This has been so great.
Awesome. Love it.
Thank you for listening to Sales Made Easy. If you found value in our conversations, please subscribe and leave a review. Our goal is to provide practical strategies for growing your business while staying true to your values. Remember, success in sales is about serving your clients. Serve first, and the selling will follow. We'll be back soon with more insights and inspiration. Until then, keep serving and providing value to others. Good things will happen.